AFTS is on for flight. Vehicles and startup.
Ground gas closeouts is complete.
Go for launch.
Stage 1 tanks present for flight.
One, zero, ignition, liftoff.
And we've had successful liftoff of the Falcon 9 rocket as we see all 9 of those first stage Merlin engines glowing beautifully, carrying Telstar 19 Vantage to geostationary transfer orbit. Now upon ascent we go through max Q as our first milestone, and again that's the maximum aerodynamic pressure. It's an important milestone because it means that from that moment on we're going through thinner and thinner atmosphere and less stress.
Vehicle has reached maximum aerodynamic pressure.
And we've got that confirmation on the nets that we have gone through max Q. So again, less and less stress in the vehicle as we go up and up from here on out. Now, we're going to come through 3 events in pretty quick succession, and those are MECO, then stage separation, and then second engine start, or SES number 1. Now those represent the cutoff of those 9 first stage engines that you see burning right now. Those will stop burning. Then the stages will separate once neither stage is burning, and then the second stage, once separated, will start its burn, and that's called SES, or second engine start number 1. Those 3 events will happen pretty quickly in a 10-second span, starting about 30 seconds from now. Again, MECO, separation, SES.
MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
Recognition.
And you heard the callouts and saw the visual confirmation of main engine cutoff, stage separation from those onboard cameras, and then second engine start. And as a treat, we were able to see that green flash from the T-tab that I mentioned earlier as second stage ignited. The next milestone is fairing deploy. I mentioned these earlier, but we're going to jettison those fairing halves because once we're out in space, we no longer need that aerodynamic shield. So in order to become more fuel efficient, we get rid of this unnecessary mass.
Vehicle on nominal trajectory. Fairing separation confirmed.
And we've successfully had fairing separation. As those halves gently float away, we now have Telstar attached to second stage, exposed to the vacuum of space, continuing on through its first burn. Now we had successful liftoff. First stage is heading back. The sequence that we're going to perform regarding the burns for the first stage is a 2-burn sequence. It's going to be re-entry and landing. There's no boost back burn this time because we're simply going to follow a ballistic trajectory out into the Atlantic Ocean. That will occur about 2 minutes from now. And if you're just joining us, we're looking at the burning Merlin vacuum engine on second stage. The vehicles have lifted off. We have separated first and second stage. Second stage is continuing on, doing its first of 2 bland burns, carrying Telstar to GTO, while first stage goes back and is about 1.5 minutes away from conducting its first of 2 burns upon re-entry through the atmosphere. Now we're about 40 seconds away from that first re-entry burn, as I mentioned. And the purpose of this burn is to slow the vehicle down. Out in space, there aren't many particles. It's much sparser out there. But once we re-enter the Earth's atmosphere, the air actually creates quite a bit of drag on the vehicle. So we want to burn to slow ourselves down so that we don't experience a bunch of heat and stress accumulation on first stage. So again, on your right, second stage in Merlin vacuum is burning. On the left, we have first stage onboard cameras who are about to start their re-entry burn.
Stage 1 entry burn has started.
And there you have it. This burn will last for about 20 seconds. And again, a quick eye would notice the continuity of that T-TEB green flash again as the engine's ignited.
Second stage following nominal trajectory.
Stage 1, entry burn is shut down.
And the burn has concluded. To give some scope for what that burn did, we're currently traveling about looks like 17,000 kilometers per hour. That is multiple times the speed of a commercial airliner. And in about a minute and a half, we're going to be touching down on that drone ship. So in the course of about 90 seconds, we're going to be going from many times the speed of a jet to 0. So it really shows the efficacy of those burns as they decelerate the vehicle. Now, as we continue this launch sequence, or I'm sorry, this landing sequence of first stage, second stage is going to continue its action as well. Second stage, second engine cutoff, so SECO number 1, that will conclude right in the middle of the landing sequence. So the landing burn will begin about 10 seconds later up in space. Second stage will stop firing its engine, and then about 5 seconds after that, back on Earth, the first stage will finish its landing burn and hopefully touch
Stage
down
1 is
on the
transonic.
surface of course, I Still Love You.
Starting terminal guidance.
As we go supersonic here, we're about 20 seconds away from the landing burn, and then again, 10 seconds to SECO, and then 5 seconds after that to landing.
Stage 1, landing burn is starting.
Stage 2 AFTS has safe.
Drone ship has AOS. Landing legs have deployed.
And of course, as a rocket descends upon a drone ship out in the middle of the ocean, it is of course difficult to sustain connection with it, so we'll get an update on that in a second. But we return back now to the primary mission, which is second stage with Telstar. Now, SECO should have occurred as well. I believe we did hear that over the nets, so SECO did occur. So in the middle of that sequence of landing, as I said, second engine cutoff number 1 did happen. So the first of the 2 planned burns of second stage has concluded. We'll give you an update on the first stage landing as soon as we can, but for now, second stage is in good orbit. At this moment, we're going to enter about an 18-minute coast phase. Again, second stage has 2 planned burns, as I said, and the second one will start about 18 minutes from now. So see you at about T plus 26 minutes. And before we step into that coast period, there the vehicle is. Again, as a rocket fires upon a ship with a camera, it's hard to keep connectivity, but there it is, standing proud on Of Course I Still Love You. So with the landing behind us, again, primary mission, we're going to go into about a 17-minute coast phase now. We'll see you at T plus 26 minutes for an update on Telstar 19.